Hello, I'm Andy and I'm going to read to you an annual 2018 Your Love Story for you coming from Gemini. And so let's start with talking about the calendar year 2018. The calendar year 2018 will have a group of planets guiding it, and those group of planets, among them there are many that do not agree with people coming from Gemini. And so they create a foundation for a love story which will tend to bring problems. And the problems can be of many kinds, affecting the romance, the marriage areas, and generally the love situation. So if you find a new romance, you coming from Gemini in 2018, I would ask you to be very cautious. It will come loaded with complications of some kind or another. There is too much water in the foundation of 2018 for you. So that person could be very undecided, or you could be very undecided, very unsure. And so many ups and downs of that romance will ultimately lead to even a tension of breakups as well. You may get even more than one romance in 2018 because the 2018 planets are very active in a negative way, and their duty is to feed you trouble. And of course, we are talking of a love story of your life where feeding you trouble in areas of love would be feeding you the wrong partner. So I would urge you to be cautious in 2018. Now, a lot depends on what age you are going to be in 2018, but that's something I will not know right now. And so I'm going to give you some samples. And these samples of ages are, I've plucked the samples out to just give you some kind of information how ages and calendar years work in your love story. If you happen to be the ages of 23 or 32 or 41 or 50 or 59 or 68 or 77, then you're going to be one very lucky person as far as the love story goes in 2018. These planets of your ages will jive very nicely with the planets of 2018. And the chances are they will try their best to feed you with people who are wanting to get in touch with you for a love story, people who come with a horoscope that is very much wanting to help your horoscope. So you see, it's a question of ages and calendar year. And when they get together well, that calendar year's foundation for love story will become very strong. I want to give you another sample of good ages. If you happen to be the ages of 22 or 31 or 40 or 49 or 58 or 67 or 76 or even 85, whereas people of 85 can also find a companion to fall in love with. If you happen to be any of these ages in 2018, then you will have a chance to sometimes unexpectedly meet this person where a romance can start. Or if you are married, then you will have a lot of good basic foundation in 2018 to make your marriage situation very good. I'm going to give you some ages where, if you are of these ages, don't panic. I'm just using them as a sample. But if you happen to be of these ages which I'm going to mention now, you have to be very careful that the planet that will rule these ages I'm going to mention now will not get along with the planets that rule the calendar year 2018. So there will be trouble. So if you happen to be the ages of 21 or 30 or 39 or 48 or 57 or 66 or 75, then be very careful. Be very careful that if you find a romance in 2018, it will come loaded with complications of some kind or another. The wrong type of person will come your path, and there will be many ups and downs, much trouble in so many situations. So be cautious. This is a sample that I'm giving you, and if you happen to be of these ages, I urge you to be very cautious. Don't dive into the romance quickly. Have a study about the person, do some research, find out about that person, because it can even cost you in terms of financial areas. Another sample I'm going to give you is this. If you happen to be the ages of 19 or 28 or 37 or 46 or 55 or 64 or 73 or even 82, then you have to be also very careful that the planets of these ages will not agree a lot, in fact will not agree much with the planets of 2018. So you will be fed people who are not really suitable for you, or who may in the end not have a good stability, and therefore you will not be happy in your area of romance. So you'll have to be extra careful in the people you meet in romance. And if you are married, you will have more than your share of ups and downs if you're of these ages which I've just mentioned. Now, if you happen to be born on the 5th or 14th or 23rd in the period of Gemini, then you are going to be one very lucky person where a love story is concerned in 2018. These are very important signals that people born on the 5th, 14th, 23rd will do very well in 2018. And so you will have the chance of meeting somebody very good for you in terms of romance, or your marriage will be starting to have a good foundation for yourself. And you will have a lot of good news in 2018. Also, if you happen to be born on the 4th or the 13th or the 22nd or the 31st in the period of Gemini, you will also be very lucky. Very lucky also that unexpectedly you can meet this person for a romance, and many unexpected good turns of events will help your marriage as well. So these are some signals for you. But if you happen to be born on the 7th or the 16th or the 25th, you have to be very careful in 2018. You see, astrology, Kabbalistic astrology is very fine-tuned. And so if you are born on the 7th, 16, 25 and you connect to 2018, immediately everything goes wrong. And you can be let down, and you can be played out, and you can be disappointed in the person you meet in 2018. Or if you have an ongoing romance, it will become very troublesome. And if you are married, you will have more than your shares of problem. This is how the mechanics of an astrology work. It's all about alignments of planets. And I will only know how to guide you if I know your full date of birth, your time of birth, able to look at your palms, do a Skype session of 90 minutes where I will face read you as well, and also use Kabbalistic tarot if necessary. And that will cost you USD 50, but that will also apply to all areas of your life, not only the love story area. Now, another sample for you is this. If you happen to be born on the 2nd or 11th or the 20th or the 29th in the period of Gemini, be very careful. A romance will come looking for you, and this romance will be very shaky in the sense that that person will be very undecided, or makes you also undecided. And there will be a tendency to forge a fantastic love story, but the ending of it will be more problems than otherwise. So be cautious if you are born on these dates which I've just mentioned, the 2nd, 11th, 20th or 29th in the period of Gemini. Something eventful wants to happen, which means you must be fed with a love situation, a romance. And if you have an ongoing romance, be careful that your ongoing romance is going to be tested very badly. In other words, problems are going to be faced, whether financial or personal. And if you are married, also the same. You will also feel that you are going to be tested severely in 2018. Well, it's a question of knowing your full date of birth and your time of birth and looking at your palms. And I need that information to be able to exactly guide you in terms of compatibility. That is the key word in romance and in marriage. If it starts with a good compatibility, you are on the line to a wonderful life with that person. If it starts with a bad compatibility, then you will see that a wrong choice will lead to a lot of pain, a lot of suffering in the area of romance. Well, I look forward to doing a Skype session of 90 minutes with you, and I will tackle your next 5, 6 or 7 years in all areas of your life. Go to Facebook, go to Skype, leave me a message, send me an email. Let's get down to it for all areas of your life, so that for USD 50 you will know your next 5, 6 or 7 years what might happen to you. In the meantime, I do wish you the best of luck in 2018 regarding your love story. Thank you and goodbye.